Hey guys, Chris here, and I'm a Ukrainian Canadian. Today is December 4th, 2022. Now let's get with the news happening in Ukraine, shall we? So, first piece of news I wanted to cover is the fact that Ukrainian forces have crossed the Dnipro River next to Kherson City and did raise the flag at the backwater ports in that area. If we look at the map, this territory that is claimed by the Ukrainians is just 600 meters from the city of Kherson. So we're not talking about anything massive here. But the main goal, I believe, from the Ukrainian forces is to take the town of Leshke and Holopristan within the end of this month to be able to really push the Russian presence, their proximity to the city of Kherson as far away as possible within the end of this month. And these are the two biggest settlements in proximity to Kherson, which are under control of the Russian forces. You can see here that they have some bases set up here. So I think this is the main goal, is to really push them out from these two settlements, establish a base where they can put vehicles, transfer a lot of their troops, and essentially start the phase two of the operation. And there's been unconfirmed reports that what the Russians left across the left bank of the Kherson River are just skeletons of what they had previously. I think that this could be pretty much true because they need far more troops right now on the Svatove Bakhmut front to keep going with their offensive and defense against the Ukrainians. And so what they left here just essentially presence, but not massive enough to really push the Ukrainians out from their offensive. So it'll be interesting to see what develops here, but I think this is the main goal, is to really push them out at least within December from Oleshka and Holopristan, make Kherson City much more safe, and then push them out further to be away from artillery range for Kherson City. We'll see. In terms of other developments on the map today, there's been a confirmation that the Ukrainians liberated the town of Yahidne, which is still in Kharkiv region. And again, it's nothing massive. It's just a little settlement that was taken by the Ukrainians, kind of pushing more within Kharkiv and making Kupiansk much more safe for the Ukrainian forces. It's also, I think, the main goal is to cut off the Russians in this highway as well that feeds into Svatove from Russia. But it's harder here to push because, as you can see here in the territory, in the north of Luhansk and Kharkiv, there's a lot of hills, and it makes it very difficult for the Ukrainian forces to attack because I assume that there's a lot of defense set up here, and it makes it more difficult to move. And apart from that, the Ukrainians are still fighting Kremina, still trying to counterbalance the gains they're making, that the Russians are making in Bakhmut right now. So we'll have to see in the next few weeks what develops, but things are going much more slower now. I think that it's winter. Logistics are really important for both sides. You know, you can kind of get caught up a few days without food during the summer. And because, obviously it's warm, and now because of the pure cold, it's much more difficult to really advance really quickly. And so you really need to make sure that your supply lines are correctly set up so your front troops don't get caught up too far away and then get encircled. So that's it for the map updates. In terms of the next news, so it's kind of an ironic news, but people across Russia are freezing their homes in temperatures as low as minus 38 because essential utility workers have been mobilized. And so this has been reported across several pro-Russian channels in multiple cities, including Astrakhan, Krasnodar, Rostov. And so the people there are suffering problems with their community heating systems and just basic maintenance because the engineers responsible for maintaining them have been mobilized. And I assume it's the same for handyman, right? In any country, you need handyman that are able to just do basic tasks such as, electricity work, repairing heating systems. And the fact that most of these men have been mobilized just creates massive issues for all these cities. So the maintenance during the winter is going to be atrocious in all these, and these are big towns. Astrakhan, Krasnodar are massive cities. Or this, it's a region, but they have massive cities in there. So this is going to create a massive problems in Russia as well. And the irony of it is just the fact that these Russians were rejoicing, a couple of weeks ago about how Ukraine is going to be dying from cold and blah blah blah, but the same is going to happen to them just due to the fact that they're also intricately tied to this war, and the men are also being mobilized in Russia. And this is unconfirmed, so I leave this to you guys. We'll have to confirm in the next few days if that's the truth, but there have been photos circulating across Telegram and Twitter of some people that have been hanged by the Russian forces, apparently in Luhansk, essentially executed publicly because they were pro-Ukraine collaborators. If that's the truth, again, it just shows another Russian war crime being committed by them. And you can see here, this is the reaction on some Russian Telegram channels that are saying that you can see here, this is right. This is how we're supposed to, act upon this. Finally, think about it, Ukrainians, just basically just approving of these acts. And it's a small sample within the Russian soul in Russia, how, they just completely disregard human lives and especially Ukrainian lives, the lives that were supposed to be the most brotherly, you know, and yet they treat the Ukrainian people like they're just trash. So it's sad. It's sad to see that this reaction is so prominent in Russia. And let's not fool ourselves. It's not just, I don't really believe this is just, a small sample. A really, really loud majority, I shouldn't say majority, but loud group of Russians that perhaps isn't the majority at this point, but believes in this. And I really hope it's not the truth, but I wouldn't be surprised. At this point, we've seen far too many crimes happening in Ukraine to just say, well, the reasonable doubt falls with Russia. It's not true. There's no more reasonable doubt for the Russians. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes out as truth, but it still needs to be confirmed. And so that's pretty much it. I just have one last video just to show you the difference because I haven't seen these videos in Russia. There's been so many videos like that, but just showing the utmost respect from the Ukrainian people. This is, a Ukrainian soldier that died being brought back home for, funeral. You can see that the Ukrainians are paying their respects to Ukrainian fallen soldier. And, this just brings me goosebumps because it just shows you the respect that exists in Ukraine right now. Every people understands what sacrifice they've brought, and I haven't seen any of these videos in Russia, of people just slowly going down on their knees and showing their respect. And this brings me back, memories in Canada from the fallen soldiers in Afghanistan, during the early 2000s up until the time they left, which was about, I think, 2011 or 2010. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was around that time, I believe, or perhaps earlier in 2009. But either way, like how they were being brought back home on the Highway of Heroes, and you could see a lot of Canadian people like just over the viaducts, sort of, just waving Canadian flags and just paying their respect. And this just brings me back these memories that, you need to respect your fallen soldier. And to see that, it's just very emotional and it brings me goosebumps to see the difference. Because honestly, I didn't see any of these videos in Russia, and it really shows you the difference between the mentality, right? In Russia, it's just kind of like they're like meat, right? I'm sure there's a lot of people in Russia that are concerned about, their sons that might have died, but they can't even group together to really pay their respect because they don't even know who died and who didn't. That's how bad it's come to be in Russia. So that's it, guys. Thank you for your support again. Really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you like my video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.